All right. Salakia. All right. I want to start off. Call hello la Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah by Hashem Raka Kodash Brakatah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who told me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the sincere brothers out there pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwaf and the Akim out there listening and learning. Hopefully this is another edifying lesson. Once again, it's fellow servant, brother Yawasop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, coming at you with another lesson. I was doing a series on the chip because the spirit is heavy on the chip right now. And I had information, I had a book I came across. It's called The Beast or Beast Tech by a man named Thomas Horn. I got to give you a picture. That's how the book looks. Terry L. Cook and Thomas R. Horn. And like I said, I'm coming at you again with another lesson on it. I went into the chip. And now I guess we're going to, because transhumanism is a hot topic right now. If you've been following Apostle Tahar's page, he's been showing you these so-called celebrities with these auto tunes. I mean, like these fucking freaky cyborgs. The movies that's coming out, Salakia, and nothing better than a chapter entitled Chapter 5: Resistance is Futile. The Plan to Abort Humanity. But before I start, I want to get a scripture. Bear with me. Because at the end of the day, the men of the Lord, spirits are set up to combat this wicked system and these demons out here. So, men of the Lord are going to actually be aware and awake to, Esau's craftiness and devices. So I'm going to come with the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, get straight to the point, verse 11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And that's the truth. I haven't came across anything like that, but, Apostle Tahar, super diligent man, give him a lot of respect. People just don't know. That's why it's funny, because, you got dudes that learn from the elders and apostles, and then they go back and disrespect even a 2/3 nigga in the world, because I'm not gonna make it seem like I've always been the same. We all have passes. We all, because it's beautiful how the Most High literally did it like He did then. He just chose men who He chose, and He took to Himself that the Father gave Him, and no matter where they were, or what they were doing, they followed. I believe in Scripture it says that I forget which brothers they immediately just stopped. I think it was Peter and his brother, if I'm not mistaken. But anyhow, my point being is, like I said, is you got these guys that, learn from the elders, and then they go and do their own thing. For whatever reason, they get kicked out, or they feel that, that pride demon pops up in them. They get puffed up because knowledge puffs up. And then the elders ain't breaking it down right. And you got dudes, like I said, 2/3 dudes that don't respect that. I was listening to a guy, because I ain't gonna lie, I still here and there, listen to certain music. It's just I'm not influenced by the music. I've heard a few brothers speak on that. Sometimes you can hear some wicked shit, but then the way that if you really need scriptures, you'll take that and, turn it from the left to the right. You know what I mean? So, you'll see how it relates to the scriptures, or, to this truth. Anyhow, Well, this guy named Dave East, he had a song called Yes Indeed. I'm not about to go too far into this, but the point is, he was saying how like right now, it's because Esau likes to create and cause controversy because that keeps these sheeple stuck on insignificant shit as opposed to what's really going on. I mean, right now you'd be amazed. Like I receive government benefits. I know a few other brothers probably do as well. Look at it like a blessing from the Yahweh. But at the end of the day, he's taking it from a lot of people. I know a lot of brothers ain't getting it. I just lucked up and so happened to get it. But that's how you know it's something more serious because like they doubled up on the stamps, and it make perfect sense now what he's doing because with them food boxes, because he started them food boxes when he first got in the office, but now all of a sudden, that's what he gonna do. Once motherfuckers don't get they checks in March, he gonna give you that punk ass food box. You know what I'm saying? Like you had enjoyed yourself. And at the end of the day, but you got so many people that it's really like comical, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's deep. You know what I mean? All praise to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah by Hashem, Hawa, Salaki, Waha, Raka, Quadash, Brakatha. Anyhow, Salaki for that. But you know, and that's being not ignorant to the devices of this devil. You know what I mean? Because I always was wondering, like, well, damn, he came out with these food boxes. He had, when I take the time to think about this shit, it's basically, this bitch is going down. They knew it, and who better to put in front of a sinking ship except for a captain, or a captain that knows how. How to repair a boat. You know what I mean? Like this man was a businessman, and it's beautiful because you got even our people, 2/3 Jakes, niggas. I know niggas right now that actually voted for Trump, thinking that he was actually gonna make America great again. Now, if that ain't some, sorcery, like you can't put a band-aid on this gunshot wound. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, though, when you take the time to think about it, like I said, I remember when he first came to office, he was talking about them food boxes, and then I would do little like surfing the internet, and you would hear how certain cities, certain people was getting it. Like I heard Chicago got it, people wasn't seeing it here, so they didn't believe it. Like we're based in Cleveland, so and now it makes perfect sense why he did that. You know what I mean? You got to remember this devil was calculating and plans ahead. So anyhow, I know I'm jumping around a little bit everywhere, but point being, the guy Dave East, he was saying because right now, you got the R. Kelly shit, you got all these. That's the point of a celebrity, they put them on a status, but then they're used to influence the minds of weak men, like the Shadow said. Like if you ever say the Shadow, he said influence the minds of man, and that's what a weak-minded individual will be caught up in some silly shit like that, or love and hip hop or some shit like that. Like just so happened, not to digress, but just so happened I was, scanning on YouTube and come to find out like Trina and Trick Daddy, they on love and hip hop, and I'm like, what? Like motherfuckers just really don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so you makes you wonder how good are they really doing, because that's demeaning. You gotta. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a paycheck and it's attention, and if you know how to market yourself, like you got some marketing geniuses, like 50 Cent, bitch. At the end of the day, he's a savvy businessman. He's a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? But he's a savvy businessman. You know what I mean? Like I've watched certain things he did. You know what I mean? That's why he was able to maneuver the way he maneuvered. He is a hustler. But at the end of the day, it says in Scripture that the silver and gold will not, roughly paraphrasing, but it will not save you in a day of wrath. So no matter if you're a billionaire, close to a billionaire, over a billionaire, that shit ain't gonna mean shit. You know what I mean? He think he probably can get in the bunker with one of them fucking elites. You know what I mean? Like Drake, Dr. Drake, bitch ass. With these elites gonna probably get you in there and eat your dumb ass. Anyhow, dude, because I just want to make this point. Like I said, right now you got like Bone, Thugs and Harmony, which like I said, they're from the city, and everybody knows Bone. You got to take time to think about it. Bone got platinum albums and shit like that. Like I was seeing some shit on there where they beefing with the Migos. Now I don't like the Migos. You know what I mean? It's like all that mumble, stupid ass rap. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Bone did have a style. At the end of the day, Bone is not on the same level as Amigos in no kind of way. Bone actually made records with celebrities that Migos will never even come on. They speak for itself, and then they were showing what Lazy Bone actually had. We've heard he was broke. We've heard they were broke, and they got cheated out of a lot of money. But at the end of the day, he showed he still got some stuff. You know what I mean? But that's not the point. The point is, they keeping these little beef going. You know what I mean? The old and new. And the dude Dave, he said something that actually made me think about the apostles and elders and some of these, fake ass Israelites, or, confused, bugged out as Israelites. At the end of the day, you learn from somebody. How you gonna disrespect who came before you? You know what I mean? And without the elders, you wouldn't have the truth. How did you learn this stuff? And that shows a lot of these people ain't humble. My damn demon is so unhumble. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and at the end of the day, the Most High, trust and believe He has a plan for everything. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, that's why it says in Scripture, what's that? Isaiah 55. My thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways. Sometimes you might try and ponder, well, why is the Most High removing this or doing that or making me go through this? But it's all for a bigger purpose. And I really come to see that, like when I did the video on my name, you know what I mean? Joseph went through a lot of trials and tribulations, went through a lot of shit for ultimately for a purpose, though. And then, like I said, his name means to add or to increase, and it was a nomen omen because he actually increased the Israelites in Egypt. You got to remember, when he passed, that's when the Pharaoh that did not know him felt some kind of way, because you had all them Israelites. They felt like they were threatened. They felt like just like Esau's feeling threatened now with us. That's why everything is ramping up. That's why I've been in this thing for some years now. And at the end of the day, I'm seeing things increase and heighten. You know what I mean? And any brother that's spiritually walking should be seeing it as well. But my point of bringing that up, like I said, is I tend to think about that. A 2/3 nigga like Dave East, and I feel sorry for him because he's an Israelite. He's confused. I was watching him say he's supposed to do a song with Styles P, and they made a song that kind of related to the Israelites. But then I hear he was with the corny ass faggot ass nigga. My nephew liked this dude too. Damn, I can't think of this fucking name. This guy name. That made that song at Two Phones. I got two phones, one for the plug. I can't think of his name. It must not be meant. It's the spirit. But anyhow, when he got locked up, he called himself converting to Islam in jail, and now he's hanging out with Dave East, and now Dave East is supposed to be into Islam. So that's just the Most High. He probably rejected him. He don't want him. You know what I mean? That's just like with Kodak Black. He making a song. He know you're Israelite, yada yada yada, and then now look at all the shit he going through. You know what I mean? So the Most High open your eyes up just to judge your ass. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you think that's why it says in Scripture that it's easier for a camel to go through a needle's eye, a needle to go through a camel's eye, than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. A lot of these people don't want to give up the perks in the society, but when you take the time to think about this shit, for what though? This place sucked, man. Like, you got to take the time to think about it. You could have, like, Mayweather. I was telling the dude, I brought up when Mayweather got locked up, and the dude was like, "Oh, what? I didn't know that." And that show you how motherfucking really people don't pay attention to shit. But that show you a lot. Mayweather damn near a billionaire, and yet still he got locked up. Now, he probably deserved it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I can't knock him. Like, he's supposed to beat up a broad. And they show the pictures of it, and I can see him hitting him. I can see him hitting her, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I was raised, you keep your hands to yourself. Or, if you're grown enough to hit somebody, you're grown enough to take the hit too. But at the same time, that's not wise in this society. But they showed a picture, and then, if you ever watching any of them specials when he was promoting those Showtime boxing things, I saw him, they went to the drive-through, and he up there talking about knocking out the dude that work at the restaurant, all that shit. He got a ego. It's beyond an ego. It's an id for real. Like, his whole, he think he Bruce Lee or some shit. Like, and what Scripture say, pride comes before destruction. At the end of the day, I heard a brother say something one time. He said, "Damn, I ain't mean to go this far. I ain't even get into the book or anything. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna get into reading. They say pride go before the destruction. I heard a brother say something one time. They say how Mayweather gonna be upset because he don't have all them cars. They ain't gonna be able to get no gas for. You know what I mean? Like, when this shit go bad. Like, at the end of the day, that's just like when the elder Malcolm was saying how, you got these people that's prepping and stand far out, and it makes all the sense, and they think they really know what they doing. When in actuality, this is like Final Destination. No matter what you call yourself doing, in the end, you can't escape this. Like the book of Amos 5:18 says, which I'm going to give it real quick, and then I'm going to jump into the scriptures. Because the day of the Lord is not going to be, a joke. although people think and take, that's Israel for you though. That's Jake for you. They take everything as a joke. I mean, I'm talking to my demon, and this silly bitch done moved all the way to California. And at the same time when she moved to California, they shut down the government. Now, mind you, she's a government baby. They show you how the truth of the curses. Her father actually was raised in the ghetto, in the projects, did something with his life, got her out the projects for her to go back to the project. So, now she done moved all the way out there. I mean, I had to put it in my mind and my spirit that I may never see my kids again. But it's things, that's the bitter part of this truth. You know what I mean? You're going to give up things, I'm going to get that scripture too in Matthew when it talks about what should we receive for those that giving up everything. But I'm going to read Amos 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. Verse 20, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? So at the end of the day, while these people thinking that the Most High is coming back and they're going to sing Kumbaya and shit like that, it's not going to be the case. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to be, seeking salvation. But those that trust in the Lord, that's what we read Psalms 91, you know what I mean? Shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I'm going to get that real quick. To put some scriptures in here because I did a little bit too much talking about some secular, stuff. It say, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. We will say of the Lord, he is my refuge, my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. 4. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou, and under his wings shall thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler, and the wings is the chariots. You know what I mean? That's what we're hoping for. I'm gonna get this scripture. Bear with me for a second. As far as for what we trust and believe and have faith in, because the thing with this truth is meant to make you a certain kind of man, and that's why brothers always sit up there and say, this truth grows you up. It makes you a man, because you're going to have adversity. You're gonna go have. If you ain't having no problems, it could be a blessing, but then at the same time, you gotta examine yourself, because it says in scripture that the Most High chastises those that he loves. So you're gonna constantly be going through things in this truth, and it's supposed to grow you up. You ain't supposed to just break to this, because you got to take the time to think about it. Yahweh Shai endured and went through a lot of stuff. I mean, every brother is probably going through something, but our plights are not compared to his. At the end of the day. Bear with me. I think it's Matthew 9:10. And that's the spirit too, because I was just speaking on that scripture. I'm gonna bring it out. It said, then said Yahweh Shai, this is Matthew 19:23. Then said Yahweh Shai unto his disciples, verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. Verse 24, and again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. And I was reading something one time when I was going through a tribulation. I was incarcerated, and I read somewhere it was saying that when it breaks that down, when it said the eye of a needle, you know how like on certain movies. Now I don't know how true this is. I never got a chance to research it, but it say, how like in certain movies how They had that gate that everybody that was coming into the city had to go through, and it had that little door, and that was called the eye of the needle. And if you had a camel with a lot of stuff on it, you would have to actually break down the camels, the wares of the goods off the camel to get it through that little bitty door. So I don't know how true that was. The eye of the needle then for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. Verse 25. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying on Salakia, saying, who then can be saved? Verse 26. But Yahweh Shah beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with Yahweh all things are possible. Verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. And I know a lot of brothers can speak on that. In our chats, I've heard brothers say it. The brothers probably might not go into in depth, but I'm sure, of course, that's just like the world. You got some brothers that are closer with other brothers. At the end of the day, you got some brothers that's cool with everybody. You got some brothers that just, that's just how the spirit works sometimes. But we all are one body, or you supposed to be, because at the end of the day, a weak link in this thing, if your upper body's strong but your lower body ain't, if your legs weak, that's why they tell you to work on your legs when you're in boxing, because if a motherfucker punch you in the face, you got weak knees and weak legs, you gonna fall out. If your upper body all good and your toe fucked up, that could hurt the whole body. So if you got a weak link with this thing, that's why I understand when they be brothers be getting on certain brothers, rebuking them and whatnot, and I've got rebuked, and it don't feel good being told your shortcomings or when you're doing wrong. At the end of the day, when you really look at it from a spiritual eye, it's not really the brethren, it's really the Most High. It says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee, and what shall we have therefore? Verse 28, and Yahweh Shah said unto them, verily I say unto you that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, let's look at the word regeneration, G3824, Pel Ingen is ia, new birth, reproduction, renewal, recreation, regeneration, a regeneration, production of a new life consecrated to Yahweh, radical change of mind for the better. The renewal of the world will take place after its destruction by fire. So basically, that's the reincarnation. In the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 29, and everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. So not only are you going to receive 100-fold of what all you've lost, you're going to live forever. You're going to receive immortality. With that, I'm going to stop.